Emilia Perez, nominated for 13 potential Academy Awards. That's the second most. There are movies that have been nominated 14 times. But here are some other films that have also received 13 nominations, Cody. Gone with the Wind, From Here to Eternity, Mary Poppins, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, Forrest Gump, Shakespeare in Love, The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, Chicago, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button,
Oh
The Shape
wow.
of Water, and Oppenheimer. So, I mean, you've got a few Best Picture winners in there, especially right there at the end: Shape of Water, Oppenheimer, Chicago. Do you think Amelia Perez fits in this group? Obviously, I'm sure you haven't seen every single one of these movies, but
Yeah.
any similarities, any differences you notice right off the bat?
Yeah, some similarities. I mean, you got a couple other musicals, Mary Poppins, Chicago. You got a couple other movies that I think legacy wise just haven't held up as well with Shakespeare in Love and Forrest Gump. So but I mean other than like surface level comparisons, I don't think really Amelia Perez as a movie is as good as any of those you mentioned. I would say out of the ones I've seen, that would probably be my least favorite. So I think just the overall quality is the thing that's most puzzling to me with all of these noms. But yeah, I don't know. It was like weird stuff it was nominated for too. Like it was like editing, and
Two original songs, got a director nomination.
how did this get nominated director with all of the good directors who kind of got snubbed? So kind of crazy.
We'll talk about the movie, but I just kind of wanted to talk about the larger like awards perspectives of it first, just because I don't know, we're in a weird spot where it obviously leads the pack with 13 nominations. Brutalist has 10. Then you've got like Conclave,
I think
Complete Unknown with
Complete Unknown
8.
was up there. Yeah,
Yeah, so like it's an interesting pack, but musicals tend to always kind of, I think, if they're the ones that are like considered the best of the year, the critical consensus. I don't know how this is the one that stood out, amongst the musicals, but
I mean it's
musicals
not the
tend
best of
to
the year.
get more technical award nominations. Stuff like Chicago, La La Land, even had more than 13 nominations.
Yeah. And you are right. I think just the musical genre, tends to have strong performances in like certain categories that other movies wouldn't put as much time or thought into for sure. But yeah, I think this wasn't the best musical of the year by any standard. I think Wicked was clearly much better, and probably a couple other ones we could throw out and argue pretty well. But yeah, I don't get it, and especially like you said, I had that list. I was looking at it when we were doing our predictions with the RCR as well, and I don't understand it. Like this movie is in rare air. For the Academy to kind of nominate Oppenheimer the same amount of times, just a year before, is pretty crazy. But, but this movie is not great either. And like I don't think the music is good, which sucks because recently we've watched a lot of musicals as well. So I feel like I've seen, the good and the not so good with that. But this may be like the worst music in a musical. I kind of like the first two songs, I guess. And then, of course, we get to the third one, which is the sex change one, the penis to vagina, which is iconic. And I think it just barrel rolls downhill straight from there. So, did you enjoy any of the music here, or what were your thoughts?
I would say it's not the worst music in a musical, Cody. Diving into a little musical draft, I think I did some research and definitely found some some worse music in musicals.
Moulin Rouge or your pick?
I mean, Moulin Rouge I don't like, but honestly, the music in that is weird because it's like songs that I kind of like, but performed in a really awful way. I mean, there was a movie this year that came out, The End, where the music is kind of not great at all. The story of that I can find a little bit more interesting. To me, this really suffers in the plotting and the performance of the wonderful Selena Gomez, and in just a lot of the greater implications of the story and the cultural stuff, the gender stuff. It's kind of a very messy movie in a messy season of Oscars, I would say.
It was the perfect year for sure, with kind of the race being so wide open. I feel like to come in and obviously do what it did, but I agree. I think overall, like maybe some stuff is lost in translation in general here. I mean, first off, obviously we are not Spanish speakers, so maybe there's a little bit lost with some of the dialogue there in translation. But also the really weird thing too is the director is French. he's not even a Spanish guy. So it's like almost double loss in translation, kind of how it came out in English. So I think maybe that plays a factor into it as well. If we were, fluent in Spanish, maybe this would be, maybe even a little bit better, which I would take. But yeah, like I said, I don't know how you get nominated for best director here. It's a hell of a nom, to be fair. But yeah, I just don't think the direction was any sort of good.
I mean, I would say the majority of the Academy membership, just based on demographics, don't speak Spanish. So they're coming from a place similar to us, whether they're
True.
English speakers primarily or they are from other European countries. There's definitely, Latino members of the Academy, of course, and people from Spain. But like, it's interesting to see the reaction to this because the audience reaction has been very negative, right? But it was extremely positive to start critically when it premiered at Cannes earlier this year. Like you said, it's a French filmmaker. It's a weird thing. It's set in Mexico. It wasn't filmed in Mexico. It wasn't filmed using anybody really local to Mexico. Selena Gomez, an American, Carlos Sofia Gascon, I believe, from Spain. A lot of great actresses there, but it very much was not local in that way. But it premiered at Cannes to a very almost home crowd, being kind of this like French filmmaker, and was lauded out of there. And I think it's interesting because it was so praised and won the jury prize, a jury that I believe Greta Gerwig was the chair of, and
Oh
because it
wow.
won that jury prize, and I believe Saldana won an acting performance prize. It was like, oh, this is the movie to watch. Netflix purchased it out of Canada. It wasn't even an original production for them. They purchased it, and then as more people begin to see it, people from Mexico, people that are actually trans members of the LGBTQ community, that's where the problems begin to arise as more diverse critics and audiences begin to see this film. But it's weird because I think those reactions have so much to do with it. And I know like it was a while before you saw this. So, well, you saw this play out in real time and then you finally saw this movie. Did it live up to your expectations?
I mean, by the time I saw it, yeah, it was already at the highs of the highs and the lows of the lows. I mean, I don't really understand. Like, I guess I understand it. It's just like the hype that comes out of some of these film festivals. I feel like, I just don't buy into it as quickly anymore. Um, just because like everything gets a standing ovation these days. So it's like, even if it's a crappy film, but it's well made, it has good performances, which I think this movie does have some good performances, like Zoe Saldana winning Best Actress, at Palme d'Or or whatever. I think that's fine. Like I think that's a good choice, honestly. And it is, like you said too, an important, movie in theory, just thematically. I think it's a good thing that movies like this are being made. I just don't like the characterization of, Emilia Perez, this person who, in my head, am I wrong here, Corbin? Like, are we supposed to like Emilia Perez? I feel like we are.
I just rolled up my sleeves. We're really getting into it. No, here's the thing, Cody. It's. I mean, it's very complicated because, like you said, it's. I mean, Carlos Sofia Gascon nominated for Best Actress at the Academy Awards. That's a huge thing,
That's cool. Yeah,
especially in 2025. First openly trans person to ever be nominated for an acting award in the category. We've had a lot of straight men, like we've talked about Jared Leto. I don't want to say straight men, just but men, cis men playing
Eddie
trans
Redmayne,
women.
right?
Yeah, Eddie Redmayne. Um, and this is a cool moment of progressive, but this is just a really unfortunate movie for it to happen. It's like a weird
Just not done well.
Oscars progressive thing. It's the Green Book thing where it's like we think this is like a cool story about like racial relations, but then in reality it's not, right? Like this is very stereotypical and kind of ugly.
Yeah, that's a good point comparison with that too, because it's like it seems like they're trying to make the right decisions when it comes to some of the socially important stuff, but they just can't recognize like when it's done well or not. They don't have an eye to like catch and see like should this pass the threshold of actually being a good movie, even though we agree with the messaging or we want to act like we agree with the messaging. So I think that is funny, but yeah, I don't know. It's just like the way they did it here. Like they they made Amelia Perez who who she was before was the leader of one of the worst organizations of all time. the cartel. So it's just like it's hard for me to look past that. And then obviously the growth along with the sex change is, she's trying to find people who never got identified so their families can know. It's just like you're picking up the bodies that you killed at this point. So I don't think I like the character at all. I think the performance is fine, but also the dialogue is not good with it. But yeah, I just don't think the writing, stuck for me either here, which was a very important aspect, obviously.
You don't have to like characters to lead movies.
Of course not.
That
But I
happens.
feel like,
But I think it brings up an interesting thing where it's like this character they try and make it a redemption arc. They
yeah,
want us to like her because the gender reassignment becomes this like moment of redemption and change in her character and change in her person. And it's a really weird like Jekyll and Hyde like metaphor when the male side of her comes back out later. That's where like some of the problematic stuff is, I would imagine. But like it tries to redeem us of the character and it doesn't do a very good job whatsoever. I would almost like it better if the sex change happens and then she's still a bad like crime
yeah,
boss. Like you could have that
100%.
happen. Like let her be in Europe and being a cool crime boss there. Like that could be the story. Like why does it have to be this weird comes back to the home of her ex-wife with Selena Gomez and like tries to live out the romance of like watching over the kids in a weird way. And I just the story, the direction it takes is very strange.
And I feel like in the later half as well, like the music really slows down. Like there's not that many songs, I
It
feel like,
becomes
in the
less of a
later half.
musical. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it just gets boring kind of with that drama stuff, like you said.
We do get the Selena Gomez song, which is Oscar nominated, the Mi Camino song, in the second half of the film, and that's crazy.
It must be good if it's Oscar dumb, right? No, but we do get like a glimpse at the end. I feel like of that other side coming out where she was like strangling Selena Gomez or something, right? Like she's going crazy at the end. So at least we get to see a
There's
glimpse of that. I wish, obviously, we saw kind of more of that Jekyll and Hyde. I think that would be really interesting if they went that direction. But again, I think it's just not smart to use this character as the leader of the cartel. I just, like in my head, you have to go so far to even, be considered redeemable. Obviously, she ended up doing good things, but definitely not redeemable because, I mean, she killed all these people. So yeah, I just don't like the character setup, I think, more than anything else.
and I just don't think the movie really knows what it wants to be because on like parts of it's is it like schlocky B movie genre where you have the iconic all over social media penis to vagina scene like that's high camp, that's intense stuff when you're thinking about it, but like the movie doesn't play like that for most of it, right? It wants to be gritty and dark at other times. It wants to be high art, Baz Luhrmann imitation, like knockoff Best Picture winner prestige, and it doesn't do a good job of balancing those two things whatsoever.
It might win Best Picture though. It might do it. I should have looked up the betting odds, but it's got to be. I think this or the Brutalist as the favorites from the buzz at least standpoint in my eyes. But
Yeah,
I think it will get a lot of wins as well. I would be surprised if it's like less than three or four. I think four is probably its ceiling, or not. It's a floor for me. I think four is probably its floor for me. I mean, you got Zoe. It could go Best Picture, but probably not. A couple technicals. Maybe editing. I don't know. I mean, it's gonna win Best Song, so that's a free one. Um, Score. I mean, that would go with it too. And
I
then
could see
international's
it
free.
getting
So
potentially.
international's free. Supporting actress is free. I can't believe it was nominated for cinematography either. I think makeup and hairstyle is probably pretty free. And then you can lump together either one, best score or sound, probably score since I like the music, I guess, and then give it another one for the song. So that's six. Not counting best picture. I
This
don't
isn't
know.
happening, Cody. It's not. You're speaking. You're just like acting like this is happening, but it's not happening. I'm shutting it down. We're,
I
we're
think two or
killing that
three
talk.
is all
I
I
want to
know.
talk about this movie. Like, it's not really like the Amelia Perez. Is she the lead character? Is she the central performer? Obviously, it's the titular character,
Yeah.
but it is very much so focused on Zoe Saldana as this lawyer. It starts with her. Obviously, when you think about where the movie ends up, it's very much still with Zoe Saldana. So I even think like Emilia Perez as a character doesn't enter until like 40 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
I think it's a strange like why are you again making this like trans story again? She sends Zoe Saldana off to like have all the conversations. There's like the again the penis to vagina scene. There's the scene with the actual Israeli doctor who does the performance where it's like just them talking about what it, is it a mind thing, is it a body thing, and it's like why is Zoe Saldana having this conversation in place of her? Like I get, in the story because she's still pretending to be a man, but they end up meeting, and I don't know. Zoe Saldana's character probably isn't needed as much. Like if you really want to make this movie about this character, Emilia Perez.
And it's not about her. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
strange.
it is weird, like the categorization, obviously, of the award is always interesting, but to have Zoe Saldana as, in the supporting actress category, when obviously we said, I mean, she won Best Actress at a film festival. So puzzling there as well. But yeah, I mean, if you name kind of a movie after somebody, I would kind of want their character, to have development, any sort of thing going on. But just didn't get too much of that here. So ultimately for me, I think to answer your previous question, I was very disappointed by this flick. I kind of went into with, I always try to keep my expectations not that low. Being like it can't be that bad. But it's not good. So for me, probably it's probably a 2 star. I put it as 1.5. It's hovering around there. But musical wise, it's pretty far down on my rankings.
How does it feel that it beat the original West Side Story film for the most nominations for a film about Latinos now?
Oh wow, yeah. Well, that's tough too. That's another hit for Oscar history. So shout out to Emilia Perez. But yeah, West Side Story, probably 10, 15 times better. Just keep going up. I mean, it's elite for sure.
Do you like a messy Oscar season? Do you want the drama? Like I can throw a couple, like we've had a few controversies. Just to remind you, obviously Brutalist AI. I don't know if you know this, the I'm Still Here lady apparently did blackface on a comedy show and had to apologize for that. Zoe Saldana also apparently did blackface.
Oh wow,
Um,
did not see that.
there's the Honora intimacy coordinator stuff, which has of course been going for months. I feel like that's been suffering that for a while. It's going on, man. There's much. I mean, Amelia Perez, there's so much there. I don't know if you saw that the casting director for the film was like, the reason we didn't use anybody from Mexico because there wasn't anybody good. There was no good local talent.
Wow.
Also, Carlos Sofia Gascon said um, to her detractors in the trans and LGBTQ community, she said, "Being LGBTQ does not remove your stupidity." So fair enough.
Can't argue with that one. It's a hell of a
Did you like the
quote.
messiness?
I mean, I kind of do. It is entertaining, obviously. I feel like when, crazy stuff goes down at the Oscars, I mean, we've talked about it before. Will Smith, I do love that moment, and Moonlight, La La Land, I love that too. But when it's like when it's in a year like this where it's not obvious, it does make it. I feel like Oscar night specifically will be pretty cool, just because it's going to be very unpredictable. Um, but yeah, so I guess yes, but at the same time, going through it, not really this year.
Even since we recorded this episode, more controversy, blah, 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 has come out, whether it's Carlos Sofia Gascon firing shots at Fernanda Torres of I'm Still Here for saying her supporters have been attacking her, or even the much more damning revelations of Carlos Sofia Gascon's past tweets, many of which are heavily Islamophobic. Really sucks to see a person seemingly filled with hate being celebrated so heavily. Yeah, it's really tough. Again, like we live in a very tough time all in this conversation by saying, Donald Trump is president. He's already started to dismantle our society, specifically, a lot of projections for LGBTQ community. There's a lot of people, specifically youth, that are at risk because of this. This is unfortunate. Like this is a good moment for representation, but it's also tough. I don't know. We live in a terrible time.
It's a tough review. This movie, I mean, if it was just good, that would just solve everything. But
Yeah,
it's not. So important though. Absolutely.
I guess. I don't know. I really blame the French for a lot of things more than anything.
Yeah. It's Frenchie's fault.
Selena Gomez fans, if you don't hurt us. If you're,
I kind of like her music. It's okay.
hey, Wizards, you watch the reboot, Cody?
Is it good?
No, I didn't watch it.
You should.
I was asking if you did.
No, I was a PBS Kids guy, man. Rip. I think that's about it. Yeah. I wouldn't recommend personally, but if you're gonna watch the Oscars, check it out because then you can just hate watch and it's fine.
Couple fans of this film: Ron Perlman,
Right.
James Cameron. I mean, him and Zoe, they go way back.
Yeah, I get the James Cameron one. I don't really get the Ron Perlman one, but maybe him and Selena are friends or something. I don't know.
Guillermo del Toro, also, I believe, was a big fan of this one. So,
I don't know if I believe that. I don't think Guillermo would like
it. He hosted like a Q&A or whatever with the
really?
cast. So
he had to be nice. I mean, they were paying him to do
that. Sure. I like that. It's all payola. Yeah. A lot of fans, allegedly, but Rotten Tomatoes. Do you want to guess it real quick before we?
The audience or the critics?
Both. Hit me. We didn't play Tomato in this episode where we did Oscars bingo, which I just want to play. Emilia Pérez, they say bingo in, so shout out to that. But what's the critic score and the audience score for Emilia Pérez? Tomato.
I think it'll be far apart, but I don't know how high the critics. I think audience is like 30, and then critics say 50.
You're wrong. You got to go lower and higher.
Okay, 20 and 65.
22 popcorn meter for the fans and a 74% certified fresh.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking, but I can't believe the critics still have it that high. That is wild.
I think that means something very important. Like, the trans community is relatively small. That's why, like, when stuff, stupid like athlete bans or whatever, it's like, oh, this is affecting like 5 people of thousands. But when you have Cannes and like, there's probably nobody that's reviewing that movie. It's just a bunch of cis straight people, like even us watching this movie. Like, you just don't have the diversity of opinions seeing the movie out of Cannes. And then, now there is a little bit diversity. I don't know, but the audiences really hate this.
Yeah. 20 is lower than I thought it'd be, and also 70 is higher than I thought it'd be. So I don't know. I think they should meet in the middle. But yeah, crazy disparity there. I feel like that's going to be very telling as well of Twitter's going to burn down maybe if this does win Best Picture. But yeah, 20% is pretty crazy for Best Picture nominee.
Hello and welcome to Kody and Korbin Have a Podcast, the show where 2 former roommates talk about BINGO and the 96th Academy Award nominees. As always, I'm your host, Korbin Zvokel, and I'm joined by my co-host. Yes, he's still here. It's Cody Webb. Cody, what's going on?
It's going great, man. Very excited to be back talking Oscars with our compadres. Yeah, should be a good one.
Yeah, it's official. The conclave has ended. The votes are in, and the Academy Award nominations are here, which means we have a little bit of setting up to do with our way too early predictions game that we played back in September, late September, early October last year. And I'll tell you what, if I had a nickel for every time I had these boys on the podcast, I'd have a lot of nickels. Welcome back, the Rough Cut Retrospective. Of course, don't forget, they're not just an Emilia Pérez. There's 3 of them now. 3, count them 3. Lovely compadres back on the pod. First, we have the lovely Carter Sims. Playing movie trivia against him is the absolute brutalist. What's going on, Carter?
Oh my.
This is incredible. The wickedly talented Korbin Zvokel over here. Great stuff. Good for you. Happy to be here. Excited to be here. Let's play some bingo.
And seated next to you across the screen in another room on Zoom is the Wicked Vivitch of Vermont. It's Jackson Mahuron. Jackson, what's going on, man?
Wow. Love to be back. Love that you guys are back from your hiatus. Huge week for you guys. Let's do this.
And of course, last but not least, when he played this game, it was a complete unknown to him, but he ended up doing pretty damn well. It's Jeff Brown. Jeff, how's it going?
Hey, boys. It's a pleasure to be here as always. Thanks for having me on. Excited to talk about our favorite night of the year. Also, Carter, you need to take notes from Korbin, bro, because this is a excellent
You can
intro.
definitely tell he doesn't write them seconds before we start recording.
Yeah.
like I do. So, boy.
And
we
folks,
gotta-
I'm not done
Oh God,
because the
Go,
we're
list
Rick.
going.
has
Cook.
not been checked. In years past, we have done these reactions like day of. We'll all turn off Twitter, turn off our phones, not look at the nominees. But unfortunately, due to the nominations getting pushed back because of the devastating Los Angeles fires, hearts go out to all those people, of course. We just couldn't make the scheduling work to do the live Oscar reaction pod. So this year we're kind of switching it up, and we're gonna take an in-depth look at all the categories over on the RCR podcast, which we've already done, and pick all our winners. So where can the people check that out?
They can check it out on Spotify, the Rough Cut Retrospective, also other places where you get your podcast, but also on Instagram at roughcut_pod, where you can click the link and go to the newest episode.
I know the people were worried, but don't worry. We were doing 2 episodes because we had to. We're scraping
You
the
lost
bottom
me
of the
there.
barrel.
You lost me.
You're flying too close to the sun.
I'm still with you.
But we're playing Oscar Bingo. But before that, we have to announce the results of our game, the way too early nominations game, which is linked in the description if you want to go back and listen to what that is. Basically, we did a draft where once you picked a movie to be nominated in the category, it couldn't be picked anywhere else. So you had to pick 22 unique different movies. And this year was a tough year, I think, for everyone, but we did have a 3-way tie at the top. As they say in the substance, all things must be equal. 3 of us scored 12 out of 22. That was myself, Kody, and Carter. Notably, Carter and I did worse than we have in the past. And Kody, you soared. So I'll throw it over to you, Carter. How do you feel about kind of that fall from grace?
It was funny, like going into it, I felt so confident in this year. I was like, I got them all this year. And it was actually the worst we've ever done. So I think that's just a testament to the slate of movies that we had this year. Not a ton of parody per se. A lot of similar movies in similar spots across the board. But I'm happy to share it with the comeback kid Kody. So I'm happy to be here with him. Job well done, sir. You've come a long way since In the Heights costume design.
He finally did it. He finally came to the top. Kody, how did you make it happen?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like Carter said, I think the unpredictability this year played a massive part on it. And yeah, everybody else kind of had a career low day, and I had a career high, so it all evened out. But it's kind of like too when you're up 30 in the fourth quarter, and the kid at the end of the bench never plays, comes in. I came in this year, stuck a couple 3 balls, so this was probably the last time where we're say winner and associated with this. So I'm gonna milk it this year. I'm pretty happy.
His Rudy moment, we love it.
He's the guy that Troy passes to in High School Musical 3 to win the ship.
The Rocket.
Rocket Man.
Yeah, Rocket Man.
I'll take that. Yeah, that's a compliment.
Cody predicting Gladiator 2 in Best Picture is what cost him the actual win.
Well,
but
actually,
we won't talk about that.
Challengers getting snubbed kill me. But yeah, Gladiator.
You
It
did
should've been.
well. You did well in the Oscar or in the acting categories, which I think is incredibly impressive. Unfortunately, tied for 4th place, we did have Jeff and Jackson, only 1 point behind though. So pretty formidable. 11 points on your first go around. I mean, that's better than Kody did on his first go around.
What was it, like 3 or 4? So what he had?
No, was it?
Probably 4 or 5.
The very first time
I don't
Kody
know.
had 3. The first time he
Yeah, I
played
was
the
gonna
game.
say, I'm pretty sure.
This game's not easy.
He
Guys.
scored 3, 7, and then 11 last year. So
Keep doubling. Yeah.
He's on his
Jeff
way.
matched him in the first year. How do you feel, Jeff?
Great. Yeah, this is like this is my Lightning McQueen year. You can't win the Piston Cup your first time, but I'm setting myself up for a 7 or 8 year run here before I get passed up by the younger generation. So feel good.
Jackson, you went from host to competitor and you did okay. Maybe we kick you back down to host next year. I don't know what's going on.
I
gets
don't want to be
relegated.
relegated, but
Yeah.
last year was definitely a better debut.
You did well
So-
last year. You did well last year. I'll give it to you. So this is it's you have one more year if you're
Okay.
at the bottom again. We'll see what happens. There's always space for Abby to hop in and take your place.
That's
So,
Fine
well
by me.
done.
Fine by me.
Holding space for Abby.
All right, let's get into bingo, or should I say Anora, because it's the only Best Picture nominee I haven't said yet,
Oh.
and so it's got 5 letters. So
Yeah.
There you go.
we're playing
Well,
Anora today,
but-
guys.
That's going to be
Amazing.
confusing because you got 2 of the letters being A, but okay.
One of them
Shoot.
has a Russian accent mark over it.
Umlaut.
All right.
The way this is going to work is that we are creating a board of things we imagine, believe could happen over the course of the next month and a half or so, from basically now as the nominations have come out until the end of the Oscars ceremony. We'll say we'll kind of set that as the end point of this, but we're coming up with prompts. They can be about public discourse. They can be about particular events happening at the ceremony, people winning awards, people going on certain talk shows. We've each come up with 5 of these prompts. There's 5 of us, so there'll be 25. We have some extras as well, so there might be some swapping in, honorable mentions. And then there's also a free space we have to talk about. But we're going to be creating this bingo board. And then as these events happen, if they do, you'll be able to check them off. So at the link in the description, you can click and create your own bingo board that will randomize these 25 events that we're going to create, 24 or 25. And then we're going to be trying to play bingo. So if anybody can win, then they get to be a guest on this show. So if you're a fan and you make a board, you can be a guest, or in this grouping, one of you three gets to be a guest.
Fill one out, Greg,
to talk about stuff. So
Boy.
you've got to follow us on all of our socials at KHAP Podcast, and of course, check out the description for more information about that.
I'll be interested to see if there's any overlap. I feel like I went for kind of weirdly specific things, and I focus mostly on like ceremony stuff too. So
Okay.
I don't know if there'll be any overlap, but I do have a few extras prepared as well, if so. But I'm excited to see kind of what everybody has come up with here. Should be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Carter, do you think your list like is stuff that's gonna happen? It's stuff you hope happens?
For the most part, things I hope happen. Some that I'm dreading might happen. I also have
The negative.
I also have a few extras in case we need it, because I just got excited when I was typing them out. So
I think we all do.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear everyone's and just, shoot the shit with my boys. So I'm excited and I'm ready to play Honora.
All right, guys, let's get into this. And I do just want to say credit to the podcast Tipping Pitches, which is a baseball podcast that's very pro-labor, pro-union, looks at, baseball through the lens of kind of leftist politics in a certain sort of way. And they did a bingo card for the 2024 baseball season, things they thought might happen, could happen. Our time period is obviously a little smaller, but, want to credit them for the idea. And I'm excited to do this for the Oscars.
It's crazy because I do have Juan Soto shows up at the Oscars on my bingo board. Crazy.
I love that. Let's get into it for real. We're going to start with Jeff. You're going to give the first potential Oscar bingo board prompt.
I have a couple ones that I think that's going to be a targeted joke. First one, I think that there's going to be some sort of challengers 3-way joke.
Ooh.
Hell yeah. I love that. Who will it be targeted towards? Who will be put in a threesome?
It'll be like Timmy, Tom, and Zendaya. Probably.
I was thinking Zuckerberg, Musk, and Bezos. Somehow.
Conan and his podcast co-host.
Conan, Sona, and Matt. Hell yeah. That'd be awesome.
I think this feels likely. Is it a opening monologue bit or late? Obviously, anywhere it'll count, but what's your prediction?
Yeah, I don't even know if they'll name someone in particular, but there'll be some sort of reference to that. Like, that just feels like a popular, of the pop culture references, that one kind of had some staying power. Obviously, challengers will get mentioned in some way, and that feels like a cheap way to approach it.
Feels like a bad audience interaction bit.
Yes,
a little worried
exactly.
About that,
big time.
We'll add it to the list. And Jackson, what are you submitting first?
My first idea was definitely out there, and it's super specific. But I just know with Conan hosting that Paul Rudd is going to try to slip in this Mac and Me clip at some point during the ceremony.
That's awesome.
He brings it on to his talk show. He brought it on to his podcast, which was audio only at the time, which was really amazing. I just feel like it's going to come into play in some way throughout the ceremony.
This is a clip of the final episode.
And I thought maybe you could show it.
Well, I'm just going to show it because why not? We might get in some trouble here, but as long as it doesn't give anything away,
I think there's a lot of interest.
Let's show this clip from the final episode of Friends.
But
I didn't see that coming, I have to say.
No, I know.
Didn't see it going that way.
There's a lot of surprises in the last episode. And
Wow.
It was pretty emotional. I mean, as you could see, Matthew Perry was in a wheelchair for the last show. But, you know, he's great. They're all friends in real life.
Electric. That would be awesome.
I hope that
Paul Rudd
happens. That'd be
promoting
sick.
anything? Does he have anything going? I feel like he's free.
Death of a
Yeah,
Unicorn?
Death of Unicorn. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
South by
A24
Southwest.
paid to see him there.
There you go.
Cody, would you be mad about that though? I feel like you're kind of anti Paul Rudd right now.
No, I do want to see that. I mean, I'm a big Conan fan in general too, but I feel like if Paul Rudd shows up, like he has that footage ready to go. So I'm on board for it.
I just worry if there's not time for clips of other things, will there be time for Mac and me?
Well, that's why they've cleared out all the other clips for,
space.
for Mac. That's why they've cut the musical performances. It's
That's
for
fair.
Mac and me.
Okay. I see it. All right. Carter, you're up next.
I'm along the same line. I'm going to stick just in this theme just to kick us off with, Conan specific things. This is a very specific thing. I think Conan will make a joke akin to The Brutalist about the Irish immigrant experience, and it'll be very wink winky, and it'll be super silly, and I don't know what it'll be, but he'll make it funny, and he'll compare himself to The Brutalist in some way. He might try to do a Hungarian accent. I don't know.
Struggling artist.
So, yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. Conan Irish immigrant joke. Put it on the bingo board.
That's exactly what I wrote.
He's got a great Irish accent. So yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's a must.
I think these type of jokes about the Brutus are better than, I fell asleep watching it because it's so long. So I'll
Shout out Joe Coy, greatest host of our time.
God, that was hard to watch.
Hey, we were laughing at the jokes he wrote, Jackson. So he said so. Yikes.
I'm going to throw in, since we're all kind of doing jokey ones to start, I feel like specific comedy bits that we predict happening. This is one I kind of gave to you guys as the format structure of this. I fear there's going to be a Demi Moore, G.I. Jane, Will Smith. Like, she's there. So it's going to happen. And is it too soon? I don't know. Probably.
No.
I don't know. Will's banned for 5 years,
They've
right?
got the real G.I. Jane.
They got her.
Javier Bardem and his wife are both nominated. Now, if she loses, he can't win. He is praying that Will Smith wins. Like, please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
Yeah, so I can't remember how long Will Smith was banned from the Oscars.
He was 10 years.
10 years?
It was life, honestly. But
Oh, yeah, I do not predict. Just to be clear, Will Smith showing
Will
up
Smith
at the
won't be there.
Oscars, not in one of my five. but,
Sure. Okay.
I think it's. I mean,
was
and
so
Denzel won't be there, so he won't fight anybody in his honor, and it'll be okay.
If they recreated it as a joke, who would go up and slap Conan? Who would be the funniest person to go up there and
It'd probably be Andy Richter,
Guillermo?
like his guy.
Yeah, Andy Richter probably. Harrison Ford would do it.
Yeah,
Robbie
true.
Williams.
Robbie Williams as a monkey. Terrific.
All right, Cody, you get first one of the first round of picks. What are you throwing at us?
So my first pick is going to be very specific. Go check out our RCR episode, but I do think Kieran Culkin's going to win an Oscar. And
Nice.
my bingo card is him cursing during his speech, though.
This is a
Ooh.
good
Big curse
one.
words.
Good.
Yeah. So
Now,
That's a lock.
what is a curse word?
I mean, I think You'll know it if you hear it.
This podcast is marked as explicit, Cody, so go ahead.
Yeah, it's like it's not an old qualifier for porn. You just know it when you see it.
You know when you see it, yeah. Okay.
Any of the big boys.
He's gonna try and censor himself.
Yeah. I'd be surprised if there's not multiple, but at least one will slip, I think, for sure.
Anyway, yeah, shut the fuck up, Jesse. Jesus. It's too funny. Now I have to follow that? That sucks, man. Thanks, man. This is a huge honor. Thanks to the National Board of Review. Wow. It means, frick. I said frick. Do you see I censored myself? I said frick. So I didn't say fuck. You asked? No, but you said shut the fuck up. Okay, you got permission. Got it. I don't know where to put this. Sorry, I'm just very self-conscious that I had the worst breath. You'll take it? Thanks. Yeah. See, that's a director right there.
We'll have to all watch this one with a hawk. We'll be there, ears to the TV.
Put the closed caption on for his speech, yeah.
I like this one, Cody. Anyone think this one's not going to hit?
He could lose. I mean, it's possible.
I think he's winning.
I think he's winning, but it'll be
And I think he's swearing too. I think
I
that's
could definitely
pretty much
see dropping an F-bomb.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's like a parlay. You're betting on him to also win, but also first. So
yeah, Bill's money line plus Josh to score.
That's always free. Yeah.
Terrific.
All right. I like all those picks, and we'll wrap back around to Jeff. What do you got, Jeff?
I'm gonna go Ariana and Cynthia perform Defying Gravity.
Didn't they say they weren't doing the? I guess that's not one of the nominated songs.
It wasn't nominated.
That would be a fun workaround to still do live music, but have it not be Emilia Pérez songs. It's kind of best of both worlds.
I think there has to be some sort of Wicked music there.
Yeah, it might not be that song, but
what if it's just Jeff Goldblum singing his song?
Like Ariana or Cynthia Erivo hits a note at some point during the show. There's a riff. I don't know the politics of that. Like if they let Wicked perform and then like other things don't get a spotlight, it's a little questionable, I guess. But I don't know. The votes are already all in, so who are they schmoozing at that point? I'd like to see it. That's some real life singing. I'll be actually impressed then if they at that point.
I think that's the risk that you run is if they just have an off night and then that's embarrassing because it is obviously a full throated song, but. That like if you're gonna have some live musical component, which it's ultimately like an entertainment broadcast, and some of the most iconic and viral moments have been the musical numbers. So I'd like to see it.
Jackson, what do you got, man?
In quotes, just the phrase "holding space" will get referenced at some point.
Yeah,
that's a free space. That'll happen.
Feels good.
This is this is basically the holding space, free space. I think guaranteed. We're just going to throw that in the center of the card.
But I've seen this week people are taking the lyrics of Defying Gravity and really holding space with that and feeling power in that. Would you touch on that moment in the film when Elphaba has been banished and yet she comes into her full power at that moment of the worst time?
I didn't know that was happening.
I've seen it, yeah.
That's really powerful.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was happening.
I've seen it on a couple posts. I don't know how widespread, but I am in queer media, so that's my.
That's really cool.
Yeah, but it's happening.
I think that it's really important for her in that moment to not allow the things that have hurt her, that have stripped her of her humanity to keep her down. That she does defy gravity, that the possibilities for her at that point, that she decides that they are endless, that it is within her power to change things, that she chooses flight.
The press tour, it's had amazing effects.
Boy, has it.
And I think that'll hopefully be like the last time it appears.
Who was the interviewer? They interviewed like another, was it Timothy Chalamet and Elle Fanning? They're like, oh my God, you're the holding space person. That's
pretty fun.
Rest of their career, they've got that at least. So, okay, Carter.
Trying to pick which one I want to do. I'm going to do this one. Kind of akin to what we thought was going to be like an announcement of a stunt category. I'm just going to say that there's going to be some kind of tease to the casting Oscar that will be I think next year is the first time it's in the actual ceremony. So there'll be some kind of honorary thing honoring casting directors, announcing that somehow in some way during the broadcast. It doesn't sound particularly exciting, like stunt showcasing, but I think something will be said about it.
Yeah.
What do you think the nominees would be this year if they'd had it? Like,
see, that's the thing. Like, I don't know if it's going to be like actually like, if it's just going to be like another reason to give an award to like Emilia Pérez and Brutalist and like and all that stuff, or if you're actually like giving it to inspired casting decisions, or is it just another like award you're just giving to the biggies? So,
I feel like Dune Part 2 or Gladiator 2 would have been nominated.
Yeah, like ensembles.
Like strong ensembles, I feel like is right.
Yeah, it does feel similar to like the SAG ensemble award.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Sing Sing I'd put in
award.
there.
I feel like they'd go to Wicked.
Yeah.
Wicked. Yeah. Ariana was probably the most best casting.
They loved the supporting cast. Like everyone was kind of Jonathan Bailey. I mean,
I will say the Dune, when you get down to like the fact that Austin Butler and the Florence Pugh, Christopher Walken, like all the supporting people that they
pretty
pull
fun.
in.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
True. Spoilers.
Yeah, she's there in a way, in a sense, in a vibe. This was on my list as well. I think casting ad, I think is, I was exact same train of thought. They love to self-promote. So
hell yeah.
This one's a little bit related to our fantasy league. So I'm going to say movies picked in the first or second round of our fantasy league. The stars of at least one of those movies will present a category at the Oscars. So a little kind of like in depth. We might have to take a look at the movies here, but
I
whether
do think
that's
Fantastic Four for sure.
Right.
Like,
That's, do we get a Pedro Pascal and Eben Moss? I think this can be loose if they're actually promoting the movie, or if it's just like, oh, Scarlett Johansson's there, but Harrison Ford and Anthony Mackie, Christian Bale, it's a lot of people.
Maybe I have one we could follow. We could pair it up with like a iconic presenting pair is something I had written down. Maybe it could be like
old school.
It could be old school or like like an upcoming one, like you were saying.
I like that. I feel like Harrison Ford and Anthony Mackie is almost a lock. To be one too.
They presented at the Globes, right? They did.
Yeah.
Will Tom Cruise be there? Is that on anyone's board? I'm just looking at our first round draft picks.
Is he busy? I think he might be.
I don't know what he's doing there. Yeah.
Jumping out of a plane or something, probably.
Mission Impossible, Jurassic
Michael
World,
Jackson,
Mickey 17. That might, yeah.
Maybe Rob Pat.
I mean, Emma Stone is a Best Actress winner, so there's a pretty.
She will definitely be there.
They are doing the weird 5 thing though, so it's not a guarantee.
Oh, true. I like that.
Last year,
I do like that. We'll see. We'll see. A Minecraft movie. Jack Black will be there.
Actually, you know what? Jack Black and Jason Momoa seems like a lock. I feel
that feels like a lock.
That feels safe. Yeah.
God, I hate my life.
This is actually I have one that's not in reference. It's semi in reference to it. It's not in. I don't think it was picked up in the first 2 rounds. I just have very specific. Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot will present, since it's ABC and Snow White comes 3 weeks after the Oscars. But I don't know if that's too specific or different.
How about just presenters that are clearly doing an ad? Like we can
100%.
It's like,
and that's a free space too.
You know, these people are in something in the next 3-4 months.
Sure,
that'll be my pick here. Okay,
I like that.
They won't be. They won't even be as fraction as charming as Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling.
God no,
never. Okay, Cody.
Back on me. My second one. It is Dune Part 2 related, but I want the space. Excuse me, to be when Dune Part 2 loses 2 awards in a row. So it has to be back-to-back awards where it loses.
I like that.
Because I don't know if it'll win any awards. I'm hoping it does, but I think it might go winless, if I'm being honest.
This is also the psychology of like when do they do the awards presentations? Like what if every award is separated?
And if they get one early, it's like, oh, you get nervous about that spot. So I think that could be fun.
There's only 3 opportunities for it to happen. Yeah.
So it's just like everything it's eligible for in a row, or like 2 categories specifically have to be back to back.
No, I think it has to be back to back of the presentation for sure.
Okay. Yeah, that's
saucy.
Hope I don't get that one.
This guy's taking opening kickoff for a touchdown. Plus 5,000.
This is great.
Oh man.
Easy money. If you know the script, I mean, might as well bet it. Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the episode. You can follow the rest of our happenings over here at Kody and Korbin Have a Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at KHAP Podcasts, KHAPODCAST. Please follow us on Spotify, give us a rating, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow along for more.
All right, we're back around to Jeff again, your number 3 pick.
I'm going to go that an A-lister, I don't know, A-lister is going to be fudged to a household name is left off of the In Memoriam.
Definitely.
Ooh.
A big one that we miss.
Like a Maggie Smith, like not like someone that we would all know, the 5 of us pretty easily would be left off the In Memoriam.
Like James Earl Jones.
Right.
That would be like the highlight one that they show, if I had to guess.
I mean, David Lynch. That's the, is it
from, true. Yeah.
Is it
I
from
think
March
through
to March?
January 1st? Or is it, March? I'm not sure.
Because I feel like if it is January 1st, then there will be the inevitable controversy of like, where's David Lynch when it's like, oh, it's next year. But I think it's probably.
There's always somebody. There's always multiple heavy hitters where you're like, holy shit, though. They gave us, I mean, obviously you want to recognize everybody, right? I don't want to be insensitive, but there'll be a lot of names that nobody knows. And then like Bob Saget doesn't end up on there. And you're like, how the heck did that happen?
Oh, no, that could be something like that.
I like this. You'll have to be the one that's out there, be like, okay, the people are mad about this.
We'll run the numbers.
Back over to you, Jackson. What are you thinking?
I'll go a little bit more gambly-y and let's do Emilia Pérez over 5 wins.
Like that.
Feel safe.
Over 5. Ooh, okay. So 5 over 13 nominations.
5 wins.
Is it 5.5?
Yeah, it's 5.5.
5.5.
Okay.
5.5.
That's
so it's gonna get 6.
Line.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's
Dang, okay.
6 feels like a lot, but 5 feels doable. That's a good line.
Yeah. That is a good line. I mean, that's the one I think I want the least on my bingo card, just personally.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Yeah.
It'll probably hit, to be fair.
Big bets. Big bets on the over, Jackson. I like your confidence. I don't like the confidence.
I know.
I do not want this to happen. We're punching the under. Oscars, you can bet on. Check DraftKings if you're that big of a degenerate.
I might throw a couple lays down. We'll see.
I've done a few before. Yeah.
Yeah. Corbin says, if you're a fucking asshole, and Carter and Cody go,
oh no, yeah, I also have definitely done that as well. Hey man, you get that the easy money. They don't know it like we know it, as you can see right here by what we're laying out. Okay, next up, it's gonna be Carter. What do you got, man?
I just think in general there will be a QR code on the screen to donate to the Red Cross or something for the LA fires. There will be some ask and a physical thing to scan on your screen to donate.
Lock. Yeah, that'll be a chyron at the bottom of the screen for sure, multiple times.
That's a good one.
Do you think like a big name celebrity will like do a huge donation to it? Like, do you think that'll be like a part of it?
Maybe a matching situation.
Yeah, like like
matching for sure.
That would be a cool. Like you have the time in the ceremony to like do like you get
turn it into like a telethon for a second for all the rich people there.
Get like an auctioneer to get up there and
maybe Conan runs around with like a basket and makes A-listers.
Oh yeah, he
like
turns into like a fun
wallet.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the Legend of Ochi got pushed back because the director's house burnt down?
I saw that.
So my gosh.
Pushed to April, I think.
It's so like there's a lot of unfortunate
crazy.
People. If only we weren't burning our environment.
Drill baby drill.
Yeah, drill baby drill.
There will certainly be bumps to commercial where you do like little either montages of footage.
100%.
Pleading. I'm sure there'll be a lot of pre-recorded things for it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Maybe the youth prison firefighters will finally get the recognition they deserve.
Yeah. Maybe they'll get to take a shower and sit down.
Maybe they'll get the $5 an hour they're asking for. Who knows?
That's too controversial, Jackson. I'm gonna have to cut you off there.
Sorry.
Get rid of
move on. And speaking of controversial, let's bring in the big fat elephant. I think Donald Trump is going to post somewhere about a movie that isn't The Apprentice. So I think it's too obvious. He's gonna talk about The Apprentice, but he's gonna have some other shit to say, whether it's Emilia Perez, trans Mexican. Like, I mean, there's the tweets write themselves there. Come on.
Many people are saying.
Right. Or maybe he's a big I'm Still Here fan. I don't know.
He'll probably have Trump jokes in his monologue. And if Trump says anything bad about Conan, I'm going to commit a crime.
Someone's going to need to pardon you in a couple years.
Reagan was snubbed.
I guess this one, maybe we need like 2 days after the ceremony because he's a little slow. Like the news, you gotta.
I don't know. Sometimes he's on at like 3 a.m.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The Parasite. I just remember Parasite so distinctly, like his reaction to that, and what a joke.
Well, didn't last year Kimmel read his tweet like midway through the ceremony?
Yes,
right?
there was. Yeah. There. Yep. So true.
I'm really proud of something. I was wondering if I could share it with you. I just got a review, and has there ever been a worse host than Jimmy Kimmel at the Oscars? His opening was that of a less than average person trying too hard to be something which he is not and never can be. Get rid of Kimmel and perhaps replace him with another washed up but cheap ABC talent, George Slopanopoulos. He would make everybody on stage look bigger, stronger, and more glamorous. Blah, blah, blah. Make America great again. Okay, now, see if you can guess which former president just posted that on Truth. Anyone? No? Well, thank you, President Trump. Thank you for watching. I'm surprised you're still. Isn't it past your jail time?
But hey, he's a lot busier now. He's making moves and
signing executive
raising the
say.
price of foreign goods.
Gulf of America coming soon.
Oh my God,
it's already here. It's been here for decades.
Yeah, John Voight and Mel Gibson and Sylvester Stallone will come out with
what
guns.
a crew! My goodness. Was it Expendables 5?
Yeah, I was gonna say, you don't like the Expendables? Oh man. Okay, Kody.
Back to me. I guess we can stay a little political for another one. I'm just gonna go with an Elon Musk joke in general. That's been the thing kind of on my timeline, I feel like, the past couple weeks. But I mean, I think Conan's gonna grill everybody, but I think he's got to throw a couple punches in here and there to some outside stuff. So I'll do that.
Love it.
Feels safe. I like that.
I just, yeah. Ugh. So over it.
I'm over it. But it's like day 4.
It's
over
just
it.
sitting there. Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
It's tough.
He'll be there, maybe.
He won't be there.
Hopefully not. Yeah.
But Jeff Bezos could win an Oscar when you think about it.
Damn. Well,
yeah, finally.
Amazon.
For which one?
Nickel Boys.
Corbin's favorite. Yeah, weird.
You think he's seen it?
I mean,
there's no way he's seen it, right?
Probably not, honestly. Yeah.
I don't think it made Obama's favorite movies of the year. So
what the hell? But Hot to Go did.
Got to talk to the intern who made his list.
That's a prediction list you can make every year. Is how many of those you can get right before that drops. But I digress. Let's wrap it back around. Jeffrey Brown, your 4th pick here.
There's going to be a substance reference, but it's Tilda Swinton and Conan.
Specific.
Ooh.
Like, Tilda
So
Swinton
you're
is
saying
Margaret
Conan-
Qualley in that scenario.
You're saying Conan takes the substance as a bit.
Yes, and
Okay.
Tilda Swinton, like there's some sort of, because he references all the time that he looks like Tilda Swinton in a melted wax factory.
Yeah, that's another parlay right there. You're betting on him making a substance joke, and then you're also banging on that Tilda Swinton will be there,
or that he'll, even if it's just a
or
cut
if he
to the crowd
references
bit,
Tilda.
like she might not necessarily be in on it, but I think that they will be tied in a substance reference.
I want to see Conan take the substance so bad now. That would be a great bit.
The room next door not being there, I think probably decreases the likelihood of this. But I did have written down, like, there's going to be some sort of 2 people together substance joke about, like, this is the old version and this is the young. Like, I don't know who the pairing is. If we're putting our money on Conan and Tilda, I like
That's
it.
pretty fun. Maybe if Paul Rudd's on stage, they'll be like, Paul Rudd took the substance and Paul Rudd came out of him or something. Like, I could see that being something.
That'd be sick.
Exactly. And then Mac and Me came out.
Exactly. And then, yeah, there's something.
Yeah.
I got one celeb dressed up as a monkey / mocap suit, just in reference to all the apes in film.
monkey at the ceremony.
Yeah, either a monkey costume or a physical monkey or a mocap costume.
I had a similar one that they cut to a monkey in like one of the chairs.
Yes.
That would be
Yes.
insane. Like I could see that in like 90s Hollywood, but I don't know if they'd
Just like one of like the little capuchin or whatever Marcel
Well,
was.
again, if Gladiator 2 was here, we could have gotten that damn monkey, but
true.
I'm thinking way lower budget, like masturbating bear Conan, or there's just a guy in a monkey suit.
So I said in parentheses, preferably a suit akin to scary SpongeBob episode.
Yeah,
that's like more what I'm imagining.
I am in the gorilla
which
suit.
SpongeBob character, Nosferatu or the ape who showed up at the Oscars?
So good.
Or the real SpongeBob from the play. What's his name?
Oh,
Ethan
true.
Slater. He'll probably be there too.
It is kind of the year of SpongeBob related stuff.
I was like, Tom Kenny? I was so confused.
2025, it's going to get even better. They're back in theaters.
Search for SquarePants. We're back.
Okay. Carter, what are you thinking, man?
I'm just doing Andy Richter cameo. I think he'll be there. He'll be a part of a bit. I think he'll do something.
The Conan cinematic universe has to be.
Yeah. The CCU
in tow.
Will be there. Hoping. Here's hoping. Maybe he'll do a clueless gamer in the middle of the Oscars. Great.
That'd be fun.
Those are great. Or Conan remote. Maybe I want to change it.
His remotes are elite. They're so good.
His remotes are awesome.
I did actually have Dune wins no Oscars written down, but since we have the whole losing 2 in a row, I don't think we should do that one. That's a little cheap. So this is going to be tough. I'm going to say an entire category visits the Criterion Closet. Now, bear with me here. It can be any category and obviously not together. So like the Criterion Closet has become to me like the latest thing in like the Oscar or just like campaign marketing in general. The Flow Cat, and by that I mean a blow up of the Flow Cat, was in the Criterion Closet today. So either it's like Adrian Brody, Ralph Fiennes, which I think Ralph Fiennes has already done it. So there might be some checking off. But if any category visit the Criterion Closet, that's what I'm calling.
So that's not necessarily during the broadcast, just during the campaign cycle.
Yeah, just anytime. Yeah, not during the campaign. Although a Criterion van at the Oscars, that should happen, but it won't. Cody doesn't believe in this one. He's giving me a lot of skepticism.
I think it's a good one. It'll be hard to track because I feel like maybe a category is already
complete. It's possible.
Yeah, possibly.
We can sub something. The other thing I was thinking in a similar vein is just another nominee hosts SNL, because that's not a guarantee, because it's a very short.
Well, Timmy's hosting tonight.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Somebody other than Timmy. Which one's more likely?
Probably the SNL is more likely, I would think.
Yeah, I think so too. Unless they've already announced the schedule, which I don't really know.
I don't think they've announced past Timmy, have they?
We're also in the weird like 50-year area though, where it's like
true. Yeah, that's in February.
They bring back all the past.
Like, are they gonna have fucking Kieran Culkin
oh, he'd be so good.
That would be awesome.
Yes, but
Kieran's hosted before.
Yeah,
he has. Yeah, I think somewhat recently. I feel
Sebastian Stan would be my.
He'd be great.
Probably pick. Has Ralph Fiennes ever hosted? Probably not.
Yeah, there's some Coleman Domingo.
It could be good.
Ariana's already done it. I don't know. What do we think? Should we go Criterion Closet or SNL? What do we feel confident about?
I think the SNL one I like.
All right.
But you can do whatever you want.
Let's do it.
Love it.
It's one spot on a board of many.
And your host, Fernando Torres.
All right, Cody, what are you thinking, man?
I think I'm gonna go very broad and just say anybody crying in general.
Tears.
Hammer it. Minus 4,000.
Zoe Saldana. I expected a loan from her already.
Do you want to make it like? Yeah, I was gonna say maybe make it more like speech oriented.
Yeah, I mean that's where I think it would have. If somebody's just crying in the audience, I guess we could count that. But I feel like that's
me when a better man loses the Oscar.
Yeah, but yeah, speech wise, I would think that's nearly a lock. It could miss, but I would think we're gonna.
Zoe barely got through it, so yeah, that feels.
Oh yeah, she's the prime candidate.
Yeah.
I know I don't have much time, and I have dyslexia, so I tend to forget when I'm really anxious and I'm filled with adrenaline, but my heart is full of gratitude. Thank you so much to the Golden Globes for celebrating our film and honoring the women of Emilia Pérez. Thank you so much. Oh my God. This is a first time for me. And I'm just so blessed that I'm sharing this moment with Selena and Carla and Jack and all of my fellow nominees. I'm in awe of you, your strength, your complexity, your undeniable talent. I know that it is a competition, but all that I have witnessed is just us showing up for each other and celebrating each other, and it's just so beautiful. So, Selena, Ariana, Margaret, Felicity, Isabella, I had lunch one time in your house, and it was like I thought I had made it already, but you're magic. You're all magic, and I experienced this kind of magic on the set of Emilia Pérez, and it's thanks to you. Thank you, merci beaucoup, Jacques Audiard. Thank you so much for trusting me to play Rita. Thank you. You are just a character that I admire so much. You created rich and complex characters, and you're so French and so chic and confident and kind. I love it. And I just, my Emilia Pérez cast and crew, thank you, Clement, and thank you, Camille, Damian, Jalet, thank you, Virginie, thank you so much. The entire cast and crew, I said that already. This is Adriana, Edgar, and Selena. I'm sharing this with you. I'm sharing it with you. And Carla, no one other than you could have played Emilia Pérez. No one. Eres única. Eres única. Reina.
Tears are a guarantee. Definitely more likely than Kieran cursing, and that's already pretty much a lock. So
I love it.
Whatever.
So they're both a lock.
Pick number 5, Jeff. What do you got?
I got 2 left that I like.
Let's hear them
Make
both.
some honorable mentions and then swap them in if we want.
Okay.
Replace SNL.
I'll give 2 and we can vote, kind of like what Korbin did. I think one, a legacy A-lister is extremely awkward at presenting Best Picture.
Ooh, that's good.
I see Oppenheimer.
Or coming from a commercial break, there is some sort of costume bit, whether that be 2 people dressed up like Glinda and Alphabet, Conan dressed up like Nosferatu, like some sort of costume bit.
That could happen.
Separate from Monkey. This is costume non-monkey parlay.
Non-monkey related.
I mean, it could be a monkey, and then is that a double hit? Like, I don't know.
Monkey is excluded.
Non-monkey costume.
Non-monkey.
Non-simian.
Related. Was it John Cena last year? Came out naked? Was that last year?
Yeah, that was cheese.
Yeah.
Cheeks hanging out.
Nice.
I think I'm gonna narrow it down. I think there's not, the costume department isn't that deep. So I'm gonna go.
I like the old people flubbing is kind of
that's always a lock. It's like I love
maybe
Eliza
not just
Minnelli,
Best
but this
Picture,
is
but
like
somewhere person that's too old that shouldn't be on stage is on stage.
Right.
They bring Clint out.
Yeah, like,
and he can't pronounce Emilia Pérez. Yeah.
Emilia.
Oh man.
What do we think? Do we like
I think we go old, like, yeah.
I like
somebody, and it doesn't have to be Best Picture, but some award that where you question whether or not this is ethical.
A senior moment. We have a senior moment.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
On stage.
Looking up who it could be, who would have a senior moment.
Do we have the presenters yet?
I don't think so.
I feel like they keep that, like, sometimes they'll leak like 1 or 2, but they try and keep it relatively. You gotta wait and see. But
yeah,
I don't know who is it. It's always someone random, because like, why was Al Pacino fucking?
And I have to go to the envelope for that, and I will. Here it comes. And my eyes see Oppenheimer. Yes. Yes. Emma Thomas, Charles Grodin.
it's got to just be a, hey, we want to recognize you in some way one more time kind of a thing.
I'm going to put my money on Morgan Freeman as the guy.
Ooh, that's good.
He won't flub it though. He's still got the sauce.
Yeah, he won't. He's 87.
Maybe Michael Caine because he's like retired.
91.
Yeah. That's not a bad pick, actually.
What if Jack showed up?
I would love it if Jack did that. And I hope he's awkward and drunk. That would be sick.
Man, he was the guy, man.
He's my goat. I love him.
Billy Crystal is returning for what appears to be a Super Bowl ad.
An Uber Eats ad.
I'll have what she's having. Diet Coke.
You could make
That's
it.
100%. 100%.
I always hate that shit.
That's good.
All right, Jackson, what do you got? Your last one here.
I got two. A red carpet moment that becomes a meme, I think will probably happen. I feel like people still care about the red carpet, right? I don't know.
Pre-Oscar.
Either a fashion blunder or, something. And then I think Conan is going to do either an opening song and dance or like an insane stunt with like a hilarious gag mixed in there. So it's going to be like 100% opening number or stunt for Conan.
My next one was going to be just like Conan dancing. So I like that. The second one.
I also had Conan musical number written down.
Okay.
So
Does he do a kick line?
Someone has to take it here. But
yeah.
I like your other one too, though, Jackson. The red carpet meme.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Put them both in.
Throw them in.
Put them both.
Yeah. Bang.
Carter, what are you doing here, man?
I think Wallace and Gromit will be at the red carpet in a little suit and bow tie. They've done this with Marcel the Shell, had a top hat. They do it sometimes with these claymations. Sometimes they show up and they have a little red carpet picture. The animators have just little figurines of them. So I think Wallace and Gromit will be on the red carpet.
Done.
I love that. Is Feathers McGraw there too? Or
yeah,
he damn well better be.
I don't know, but there's some chicken who won't leave. Like, I don't know what's going on with that.
Full sauce, yeah.
No snail from Memoir of a Snail. You don't believe in?
You'd think there'd be more snails forefront in that story, but there's
not a lot of snails.
You'd think there'd be more snails. That's Trump's tweet. Not enough snails.
It's just a depressing story about a person and their family.
They have a really sad life. I don't know if it's like, is it any of it based
shit.
on a true story? Because it's so sad.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
I feel for her.
Very weird little child as well.
Yeah.
Snail girl. Okay,
Love
Cody, we can like join. Maybe we both throw some out here and then we can pick
yeah, we can cut some.
Okay. Well, honestly, you guys took some of mine. It was mostly just like Conan singing, dancing. My other one that I like too is like if you hear the words, they're saying "wrap it up." That would be a good.
Oh,
one,
that's good.
They're telling me to wrap it up or something.
Yeah, because they always like flash on the screen like "wrap it up" and they're like, "Oh, I'll try to wrap it up," and then they talk for 5 more minutes.
Some kind of wrap it up. Yeah.
Definitely.
And then another one I had too was just a Succession reference. Both the boys nominated. I feel like that's going to come into play at some point.
I was feeling the Succession reference or some sort of. It sucks because they don't really like each other. I mean, not that they hate each other, but it's Jeremy Strong. These little weirdo.
It's different acting styles.
Exactly. Yeah. Great way to put it, Cody. Very
kind of similar-ish actually, but.
Yeah, that's like a good mediator response. Different acting styles. If those two had more like real life interaction chemistry, I think they would like definitely be doing a ton of stuff together. But
maybe Sarah Snook and Kieran Culkin can like present something.
I had Succession down. The other thing I was thinking is Zendaya shows up and she's not wearing a wedding ring.
Oh, tease.
So I think that would be
crazy.
Throw it. Now the thing again, Challenger's not nominated, so I don't even know if like. Is Zendaya going to go to the Oscars?
But Dune is.
Is she at the Dune table? Maybe.
True.
Yeah. She'll be there.
Dune seats.
Do you think her and Tom will stun and like announce?
I guess
have they officially like announced it like on camera or anything?
It was official, but I don't think.
I don't think so.
Maybe that'll be like the official
on his
from
Patreon
them.
or whatever. His dad said on his Patreon. I'm of course a subscriber, so I knew that right away. So, okay, do we want to go wrap it up? Was there other options people want to throw out here? Any other?
Do you think lookalikes are dead by the time the Oscars come around?
Ooh, lookalike.
Like, is the Timmy lookalike contest being brought up again? I know it's like in the SNL
they already
promo.
did the SNL promo.
And like they showed up at the Golden Globes. Yeah, like, is it dead by then? I don't know.
It feels
But
that
like,
show-
are the Oscars one to like not beat a dead horse when it comes to anything?
Well,
what is Conan's thoughts on the lookalike contest? Is he a fan? Like, I don't
Maybe
know.
he has his own Conan lookalike contest.
That's
like,
right.
maybe that's
Yeah,
a whole
some
bit.
look-alike
Yeah.
reference I could see,
but maybe not. Maybe not. But that was my only other one.
It's pretty heavy at the Globes.
Maybe it dies. Let's not throw it on there.
It might die. I mean, it seems like maybe a flash in the pan, but who knows? Timmy's milking it for sure.
I guess there's not going to be a ton of time for bits, and it does feel like this is like they're going to bring out like 6 random people that nobody knows on stage and do like a.
Or like, what if they did a bit where like the placeholders? It's like, oh, we got the Timmy lookalike contest as the Timmy placeholder if he has to get up or something like that. You know?
Yeah, I could see the like, oh, hey, look, it's Timmy Chalamet, and they cut to him, and it's just the dude from the lookalike.
That's a good idea, Jackson. Like the seat fillers or lookalikes.
That'd be so funny.
I don't hate that.
It wouldn't make any sense, but like they could have like a few like just to have as like a bit, and then the rest are just like the regular.
But if it's just something random, like they're Uma Thurman lookalikes,
yeah, like that'd be kind of funny.
They're just something completely random.
How insane would it be if Conan opened in a different hall with all lookalikes and then went into like the real hall?
That'd be sick.
Whoa.
Too much?
Inception,
Maybe
that
too
would
much.
Be totally
really meta.
fucking crazy. That's kind of Lynchian, actually.
Really, it really is, and it's a very Conan thing too. But
my the only other one I had was that ceremony under 3.5 hours.
Ooh,
that's a fun one. I like that.
I can see that because there's a lot of
they cut some things.
Yeah, with no
and
music,
it's a lot of the same movies, so it's like I know it's different performers giving different speeches, but I don't know. There's just not a ton of variety. So,
is the official time slot 3 hours, or is it? Do we pull up
I
a
think it's
TV
8 to
guide real
11,
quick?
right?
Like I don't.
Let's see.
3.5. 3.5 seems likely. I think we could definitely say under 3.5.
Under.
AI overview tells me that the 2025 Academy Awards are expected to be around 3.5 hours long.
Okay. So that's a good place to set it, the under. I think we should take the SNL host thing off because I just don't think there's enough time. We've got like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
To get somebody. So I think we swap that.
I'm down with that.
Do we have too many Conan related things?
Too many jokes.
Like you could take off the Andy Richter cameo if you want and keep SNL. Unless you don't want SNL. I mean, it's your baby.
I don't know. I don't feel great about the
You don't feel good about it? Okay.
Yeah, let's do that. Under 3.5. And then do we like wrap it up? Do we want to have that? Do
I
we
like
think
that.
wrap it up is a term?
Do you wrap it up, or do you want the specific term wrap it up, or like someone says something akin
speech is
to
cut.
Oh, I gotta wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I just want the words verbally, like wrap it up out loud.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because somebody's gonna go long. I mean, that's a guarantee.
Yeah.
So
And it's
gotta
gonna be
make it
like
more specific.
It's gonna be the live action short film winner.
Yeah. Who this is their life's fucking work.
Yep.
But nobody
Let them
cares
talk.
because I didn't
No
see
one
it.
cares. By the way, the 2002 ceremony lasted 4 hours and 23 minutes.
Jeez.
Whew. All that for Star Wars Episode 2. Wow.
They just
That
watched
is
the movie
crazy.
twice.
Yeah, twice in a row. It was so good. They just rewinded it.
Here are the prompts that we have selected. A Challengers 3-way joke. Then there's going to be a Paul Rudd, Mac and me joke. Also, we're predicting a brutalist Irish immigrant Conan joke. Also, a Demi Moore G.I. Jane joke. And then Kieran Culkin cursing during his speech. I'll play the Golden Globe speech right here for you to get a taste of what's going to happen. Defying Gravity being performed was predicted by Jeff. Then Jackson predicted a holding space moment, so a lot of wicked love there. An ad for the casting Oscar was predicted by Carter. Just some sort of, hey, next year, this is what we're going to be doing. I also think the presenters for awards are going to be doing ads for new movies. Kody predicted that Dune 2 would lose 2 awards in a row. So that's a big back-to-back. We're going to see how the producer places things. Controversial in memoriam pick. Somebody's left off. Somebody is included that maybe shouldn't be included. I don't know.
That happened before, right?
Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, randomly Jeffrey Epstein just like shows up and they're like, yeah.
They're like, whoops, how'd that get in there?
New York financier. Speaking of Conan, a QR code to donate to support the relief, fire relief, some sort of image on screen. Hey, donate money to support GoFundMe, support firefighters, whatever it may be. Red Cross. Emilia Pérez over 5.5 wins is a prediction that's been made. Trump posting about an Oscar movie that isn't The Apprentice. Elon Musk being joked about. That's number 15. A Substance Conan Tilda Swinton joke. That's also on the docket. Are we going to see it? We'll see. A monkey appearing at the ceremony. This could be in costume. This could be real monkey, CGI. Maybe just Robbie Williams is actually there. Does that count, Jackson? If Robbie Williams is there, is he a monkey?
No.
What's with the monkey?
Member of the band The Monkees appears.
Davy Jones is there? That's sick.
We'll see. Andy Richter appearing, also predicted. Ceremony being under 3.5 hours. That'll get you another space. Crying during speeches. This feels like the big free space here, but there's a couple guarantees. And tears we will see. A senior moment on stage. Some old person just, my eyes see Oppenheimering it up. Or maybe even a La La Land Moonlight Flub if we're really, really lucky. Red carpet meme, something pre-ceremony gets memed while the ceremony is going on. Conan performing a musical number, a dance, some sort of extravagant opening thing from Conan set to music. Wallace and Gromit, particularly I think Wallace showing up at the ceremony was our second to last prediction. And then finally, some sort of just wrap it up during the speech when a person starts to go on for too long. Hey, I got to wrap this up. Do we feel confident with those 25? Is that going to be our bingo board?
I like it.
I like it as well.
All right. Those are our 25 picks. Obviously, they're going to get randomized for each of us. So we're going to have our own bingo board. I'll probably swipe and share like what everyone's looks like on the Instagram post. And then you can make one of your own if you guys are interested in doing that. We'll probably share occasionally as things get checked off. You know, we've got a couple months where some of the stuff may or may not happen. And then, of course, we'll be watching heavily the night of the ceremony. Locks, things you don't think are going to happen. Jackson, I'll throw over to you. Is there anything you feel really good about?
I feel really, really good about Mac and Me. It just feels so out there, so ridiculous. It's got to happen.
Jeff, what about you, man?
I think that Carter's pick with fire fundraising that's a free space. Yeah. That's going to happen.
I think Conan dancing is going to be the opening. So I think that's one of the more, low key free ones for me.
I think holding space is more likely than a defying gravity. I think Tilda Swinton. I don't think we're going to get there. That's my dead.
Conan
space.
could take the substance though.
I'm hoping
that could happen. Maybe not.
You could get halfway there.
We need to pitch some of these.
Bet.
We need to pitch some of these to Conan, like that. The stand-in bit and the.
Well, he's listening.
These are all good. Yeah,
he's been listening.
He's a fellow podcaster. He's been listening. He supports the arts.
He keeps his ear to the ground.
Yeah.
Carter, what do you think, man? What's your lock?
Yeah, the holding space feels pretty solid. I hope the Dune 2 one doesn't happen. That's all I'll say.
Fair enough.
I mean, I agree.
Dune 2 should have 10 nominations. That's all.
Yeah.
It should win Best Picture, but yeah.
Will Bob Dylan be there? I know we didn't say that, but will Bob Dylan be at the Oscars?
Does he get out much? Like, what? I don't know.
Not get out.
Will
much.
Bob Dylan be at SNL? Is there a chance he shows up and supports
if he duets with Bob Dylan, I think
that'd be awesome.
I'll hover above the earth. That'll be great.
And if that didn't happen, it just got cut out of the episode. So that's the beauty of we'll see.
Perfect.
Just kidding. This is staying in. Well, thank you guys. I think we've got a really solid list of 25. It's going to be tricky. Whoever gets the bingo first person to say Honora is the one who gets to be a guest on the episode. And that's not counting the episode that Jeff is already locked in to do. It's on the schedule.
What if you or I win, Corbin? I mean, what do we get?
I think we get to
Solo.
remove the other person.
Solo. Okay. I like that.
You get to pick someone to replace me with.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Easy choice.
Well, guys, where can the people check you out again? I know you already shouted out, but give it to them one more time.
At roughcut_pod, and then click our link in the bio.
thankfully, Trump saved TikTok, so we got another 90 days to follow you guys on there and watch The List Is Life and everything else.
Oh yeah.
If Cody wins, he gets to give Korbin the substance, and you can have Baker on.
Oh,
It's a
There we
Mulan
go.
episode.
Now we're playing for something. Yeah.
God. I can't wait to have Baker on.
You're killing
Got
great
hot
April
takes.
Fool's ideas.
That's a
Jeff,
good
right there.
bit.
Jeez.
I love that.
Well, guys, it's always a pleasure to do these episodes, especially when we're doing 2 of them in one night.
Likewise.
And thank you to everybody who listened. Enjoy the Oscar season. It'll be gone. It'll be over before we know it. Peace.
Stay capping.
Capping.
Peace.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.